showing skills. Yeah, how about it? How about it? You want it, you have it, you got it. Go snatch and skirt the lot. Go ahead, jump it, how about it? How about it? Rep where you from? Where your post, department, your projects. Pain driven, ancient drumming. Look how far we coming. On the streets, let me do it. Ain't built for the weekend. Sweet, this sugar. One man on me, but get deep. Watch what you doing. I ain't damaged goods. Damn out the clay. You wish you could. I do this for the family. I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous. I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff to edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah, so suspenseful, I'm up in the field. Saw it in my eyes, it was the Tiger Hill. Gon' jump off the line and see the flight of field. Rewrite your history off this line right here. Your best bet be ahead, instead of get rich or dead trying. This ain't never new, I just be 10 steps instead. Snooze, I won't, I can't lose, ready, rest or a bed. Do what you can to do, make it next move your best. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I'm keeping it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill? I'm giving they souls the chills. My jewelry code is chill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. Paper stuff to edge like I don't know no feel. See the pain deep in my eyes, they know it's real. Yeah, been this way, right before the deal. Say this one for your photo real. Blessing after testing, I'ma show them skills. You ain't gotta tell me, I know I'm ill. Stories treacherous, I effortlessly show them skills. Yeah. I do this for the family, I might just blow my wheel. I keep it so for real. Who feeling that glowing hill?
Hey everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 20 on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what ought to be a great matchup between the Oakland Raiders and the Indianapolis Colts. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA. Here's the former Auburn kicker, Daniel Carlson, to get this one started. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Colts heading out, and Andrew Luck, the one leading the way, coming off a season in which he threw for nearly 4,600 yards to go along with 39 touchdowns, second most in one season in his career.
Right here, right here.
First carry for Spencer Ware. And an early how do you do right there as they're going to bury him in the backfield. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down. So add that tackle for a loss to the 2 that he had a week ago.
And you know what he's doing right now?
Smiling?
Yeah, definitely doing that. But he's also patting his guys on the back, his defensive front, because they're keeping him clean, meaning no one's getting to him as a blocker. He's able to run to the football, and the plays he's making, he's spilling them in the offensive backfield.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On second down, it's Ware. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down. What happened there? Was that just a missed assignment on the O-line?
It certainly felt like it, but also the speed of the play. When you're talking about defensive end, they want to be ahead of the clock, don't they? They want to be upfield, making plays on every snap. How about his agility there to run that one down?
And a good job defensively. They stop him short of the first at the 32. Give him 9 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Now Brown. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over.
Here we go. 91. You want this? You got tight. You got tight. 61. Matchbox lights. Speak up.
Now Hall throwing on first down. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you got to find a way to hold them under 20, because to me, that's the magic number. 20-point score gives yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24. Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. It only took him 2 plays there to find the end zone. The last one, the long run, getting him in for 6 points. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Let's go.
And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive.
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go. And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Spencer Ware, the intended target. But it'll be 2nd down. And here are the Colts offensive starters.
And I think we'll see a renewed sense of urgency out of this team this week because they have to make sure they don't waste this homestand. They had a home game last week, lost it. Now they've got the 2nd straight. They've got to take advantage of it, get a win before they head out on the road.
And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. A look at the defensive starters now for the Raiders. They were very good a week ago in the win over Minnesota.
And I'm eager to see the game plan and trying to attack them this week because when you take it away 4 times through interceptions, Do you now decide that I can't throw the ball against this team and try and run it like crazy? Or do you challenge them? This is going to be fun.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
I think the punter might start to get into a pretty good rhythm here if he keeps getting opportunities. But that's the last thing his team wants to have happen, right? The last thing you want to see is your punter feeling pretty good because he's out there all the time.
Yeah, first quarter only, but they're 0 for 2 on third down conversions to start this thing. Shedding through the defense. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. And now Oakland ready to take the field. They'll be looking to duplicate that first drive, the one that got them that 7-0 lead.
Of course they would. And look, they're on the road. So getting the 7-0 lead was huge for them, right? Imagine getting up 2 touchdowns on the road, taking the crowd out of the game. It'd be ideal.
23 yards on the play.
It certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. A little second effort there on the strong run. And then drop just inside of the 20. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Paul got a man. It's Brown. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Brown, his first catch. It's a 1st down. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. Back at the 5-yard line now, 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Time for a look at our starters here on defense. This crew against the pass, it's been a real struggle. 2nd from the bottom in the NFL, number 31.
And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for.
This Colts D up to the challenge so far, but they need another stop here on 3rd and goal. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown, his 11th touchdown of the year. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. I'll let you do the analysis, partner, but with every touchdown pass this young quarterback throws and with the success that his team has had, I just continue to be more and more impressed.
Let's both do the analysis. Impressed. Aren't we both?
Yeah.
I mean, and why shouldn't we be? We've seen him improve throughout the year. We've seen him settle in now, and you can see the confidence of the team has grown. His confidence has grown. I think that everyone around this guy feels good about what they've seen. And it's also safe for him when he's driving home to turn on Sports Talk Radio. He's okay.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Maurice Hurst able to record his 5th sack of the season.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield. And this will be a pickup of 4 here, up to their own 20. Third and long, it's Locke. And he's got Rodgers. And him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, Luck. Taken in by the tight end, Doyle. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. A gain of 11 that time and a Colts 1st down. Catch number 100 for his career right there, and it's good enough to keep the chains moving. From the 50, it's Luck. And his throw is incomplete. He was looking for Jack Doyle that time, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Throwing on 3rd down, Luck. Got it complete to Rodgers. And he's got the 1st before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. Running on 1st down with Ware. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game? Maybe establish the run. I think they're trying to do that.
Now, I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
What we got?
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck finds his big tight end, Mo Alley-Cox. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's taken down at the 27. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling. Luck now 7 of 10 here in this 1st half, and he's got a 1st and 10. On the ground, this is Ware. And he'll be dropped at the 23 after a pickup of about 4.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the 2nd half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the 1st half. Maybe not so much in the 2nd half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. A shotgun snap for Luck. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone, and that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
And that drive was going pretty darn well. 3 previous times, converted on 3rd down. But on that one, the defense rose up and said, enough of that.
Vinatieri's kick is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. Vinatieri, the NFL's oldest active player, also the league's all-time leading scorer, past Morton Anderson last year.
Yeah, he turned 46 in December of 2018. You really can't see it in his leg, maybe in the beard.
You can see it in the beard.
Maybe in the beard, that's about it. But as long as he's booting him the way he's booting him, keep going, big guy.
So here are the Raiders now to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Josh Jacobs with his 14th touchdown of the year, 2nd of the game. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strikeability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
This is taken at the 3. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
We're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Maurice Hurst in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. They run it here. Where? And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
We got 3, fellas, we got 3.
From the gun, here's Lott. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7.
That's what I'm talking about. Sacks.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. With it is Brown. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. A punt return of 65 yards. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage.
I know the question will come up. If Antonio Brown is maybe the best receiver in the game, why would you risk him on special teams? I think we just saw why.
I was just going to say, Exhibit A. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the route is on here in this first half. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This is taken at the 3. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now, this will probably be the last play of the quarter. First down, it's Ware. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Second quarter now from Indianapolis for the homestanding Colts in possession as they've got it 2nd down and 12. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. From the gun, they run with Ware. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He's got it. This is Ware. It'll be a gain of 17 and an Indianapolis first down. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
He'll wind up losing 3, and now it's 3rd down.
Partner, you mind if I take off this headset and put on a coaching headset?
You want to get this running game going?
I want to get this running game going. I'm going down there and saying, gentlemen, we have got to run the football. We've got to get it going right now.
Yeah, to this point in the second quarter, it has been a struggle. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. So a couple of first downs on this drive, but it's looking like another empty possession.
And those empty possessions are certainly starting to pile up. So the adjustments that teams talk about all the time have to be taking place. They've got to analyze what's breaking down and figure a way to fix it.
Well, look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's already cruised past the 100-yard mark. We haven't even gone away for halftime yet.
He might not want halftime. Why cool off?
Keep everybody here.
Just stay out on the field and keep going. But all that being said, everything is really working well for them. The play calling's been excellent. The blocking's been terrific. And obviously his vision and legs have hurdled him to this big number so far. We could be seeing something really special here.
And we'll see how how much they give him the ball here. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. And the pass complete to Ryan Grant. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That 1st down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Here's Jacobs from the gun. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Well, Brandon, he's had a great day, but sometimes the other guys make a play against you. What's that expression they like to use in the NFL? Those guys get paid too, you know.
Yeah, in college they say, hey, they're on scholarship too. In the NFL, they're getting paid too. With the day he's had, you can have one going the wrong direction. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
So they'll play the field position game here, as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And they'll get him down up past the 15. A gain of 11 that time, and a Colts 1st down. Thanks to that last play, a little more room to operate. 1st and 10 at the 18. Play action. It's locked. And the coverage terrific there, as that's knocked down and incomplete. He was looking for the connection with Devin Funchess. And it's 2nd down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They run the counter. Where? And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Locke, and almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 30. Antonio Brown, kiss him goodbye. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A 71-yard punt return as his guys continue to pour it on.
Well, if you're into cheesy movies, you would title this one A Half to Remember, wouldn't you? His 2nd return touchdown of the game.
What if I'm not into cheesy movies?
Well, go ahead and get into it, man, because I just did it, and you're going to green light that one. How about those returns? Maybe they ought to think about not kicking him the ball.
Yeah, they might want to go away from him in the future. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Spencer Ware and the rest of his offense retaking the field. He's been good. They've utilized him well, but they're losing here in the 2nd quarter. What might they change offensively?
I think that what you try and do is expand how you get the ball to him a little bit. Get him out in open space, maybe swing the ball to him. What's that they used to call in the West Coast offense, the long handoff? Yeah. Serve as your running play that way, as well as continue to feed him the football. Some of these runs now may pop bigger later in the game because of the effects of running it. Sometimes people, after a while, they don't want to tackle him anymore, or they get tired, or they get out of position, or he runs through tackles. Continue to feed him the ball. He's having that kind of game.
Yeah, might they get him the ball in some space in some different ways here. Here's a pass swung out left to his running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. 2nd and 12 after the 1st down pass play went backwards for 2 yards. They'll run with a former Ole Miss Rebel, Jordan Wilkins. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. The Colts on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. This is 3rd and 8. Luck now to throw. And that will be incomplete.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on third down.
Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. This is taken around the 12. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back, and that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down. Back to throw now on 1st down. He'll take a shot for the end zone. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown on his way to a historic performance. 4 first-half touchdowns as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. He put quite a bit of air underneath that touchdown pass. Of course, we knew that he had the strong arm.
That part was easy. You could see that throughout his college career. But what you want to know about a rookie is when the pressure's on, can you throw with touch? He just did right there. And, boy, it was pretty.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. You can count his carries on one finger. They've only given him the rock one time, Charles. What gives?
So we can't draw any conclusions just yet. He has to touch the ball multiple times in order to get into a rhythm and have a chance to have success. You know who else gets into a rhythm? The offensive line. They feel better about what they're doing when they know they've had multiple opportunities to get it done.
Yeah, well, the conclusion we draw so far, they're losing here in the second quarter. Let's see if they change tunes. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Well, he had 2 sacks earlier. Now he has 4 total tackles for a loss after that play.
Well, they obviously have to do a better job trying to block him. But short of that, you know what the quarterback has to do? Make sure he doesn't hand it to him when he's back there thinking he's one of his own guys. His quickness, his suddenness, his speed getting into the offense's backfield has been something else in this game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 20. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Here we go. Here we go.
On 1st down, Jacobs. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. Solid gain of 18 and a Raider 1st down.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Escaping the pressure right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be second down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal. Looking to throw. Hall looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal. 2nd and 4. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown Raiders. 4 yards on the touchdown grab as his guys continue to pour it on.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Touchdown, Raiders. Daniel Carlson on for the point after.
It took them an extra look, but they found out it is a touchdown indeed. The official says this one counts. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And a rout is on here in this first half. That time a 6-play drive. And it winds up in 6 points for the Raiders. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. The good run on 1st down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. 2nd quarter action, 1:56 remaining. We'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. A good start to the drive. Here's that's caught out on the left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 32 on the play.
Well, you don't have to be a genius to watch this game and figure out they've had plenty of success moving the football here in the first half. We've seen exhibits A, B, C, and right on down the line, haven't we?
Yeah, we just saw exhibit Z right there. So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They will run the draw with Jacobs. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game. So he's really made his presence felt in this one.
On 2nd down, it's Jacobs. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half.
30 base.
Pick it up, pick it up, pick it up.
Let's go. Hit it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown there to make the grab as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
I heard a coach talk about those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the rout is on here in this first half. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Looking to throw again on second down. Luck. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. Now the Colts going to burn the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. On first down, Luck. He's got it to Hilton. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Now the Colts will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
First and 10 at the 40-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. Luck throwing again. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They come up on second and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They had a big first half. Now they have a chance to add to that lead here in the opening possession of the second half.
And everyone always asks about halftime adjustments, kind of the key phrase. What did you do at halftime? Well, the way they ran offense in the first half, I think they were very calm, congratulatory, but also what they were saying is, don't expect them to be the same on defense. They'll be the ones making the adjustments. Let's see what they do, and we'll attack accordingly.
And we'll see how they attack here. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line.
If you're a selfish player and you're throwing the ball, you're cool with the completion. Maybe not so cool with the yardage loss, though, huh?
Yeah, you went backwards on the yardage. Hey, kind of works like a sack for the defense there.
Yeah, it's a really big play for them, right? Able to figure it out, sniff it out, and finish it off.
Couple of plays sent them the wrong way, and now they face a 3rd and 14. Here's Hall. From the gun, he'll throw. Got a man. It's his tight end, Lance Kendricks. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts 40.
Well, sometimes our pregame meetings do pay off, don't they? What do the guys in the locker room call him?
Well, they said it with a chuckle. They called him Old Reliable.
Yeah, that means he doesn't move quite as fast as he used to, but he still knows all the tricks, doesn't he? Even that little gentle push-off in order to get open, he finds a way to pick up a first down.
It was Justin Houston who got him down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Back to throw. Hall. That's complete to his tight end. This is Lance Kendricks. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Lance Kendricks His 6th touchdown of the season as his guys continue to pour it on. So on 3rd and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
Let's go.
A reminder coming up tonight, a tough ticket in New Orleans. The Cowboys in town to take on the Saints on Sunday Night Football. Then tomorrow night, Charles and I, we go to Pittsburgh. Bengals and Steelers, 2 teams, well, they don't like each other very much. That's well documented. That starts at 8:15 Eastern as we close out the month of September. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. They run again with Wilkins, and they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Officially, it's no gain on the play, and they'll remain a few inches shy of a first with 3rd down looming. To throw is Lott. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Oh, boy, he fielded it right on the goal line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. He has a chance to hit that often elusive 200-yard mark on this drive.
And most of the time during a game, people aren't keeping track of individual statistics.
And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. 30, 10, and he is in. Touchdown. Josh Jacobs, 82 yards, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ball game. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Quick throw here to Hilton. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This is taken at the 10. And there he goes again. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Almost the full length of the field, a 90-yard punt return as his guys continue to pour it on.
Let's just call that play what it was. Bold, dashing, daring, and a big-time return for a touchdown.
Fielding a punt inside the 10. Most coaches, they frown upon that, don't they?
They really do. I do know some special teams coaches who say, okay, I'll let you go back to about the 8, and you're right in that gray area, and he made that play work in a massive way.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. This is taken at his 4. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Here's Lott. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
This is taken at the 15. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. Mark that down as an 85-yard punt return as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line just across the 25. Here comes the Indianapolis offense now as they get set to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Wilkins. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
21 yards. Well done on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. I guess it kind of goes without saying at this point, but he's had a great game, as we like to say, a nose for the end zone, no doubt.
Continues to find it throughout this game, and I'm sure he's got a nice...
There goes Doug Martin. 20, 10, and he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Doug Martin, 77 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. Well called, well blocked, and then he just made a great play. That was an athlete going a long way.
Yeah, how about the suddenness, too, of just getting there and taking off and going? For the defensive guys, plays like that really hurt.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead.
Daniel Carlson, the kickoff for the Raiders.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one taken from the 7. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, "Wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys."
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. That second down play nets a -4. After seeing that, maybe time to go back to some downfield throws here.
Yeah, anything. Change it up, because the teams that win, the best teams, they're the ones that make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't come back to what you thought you could get done. Sometimes when you open things up a little bit, you can get back to what you wanted to do before.
Now the throw on third down, knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And he's loose again. Into the end zone. Oakland Raiders touchdown. What a risk he took, but it paid off. I mean, he took that punt from inside the 5 near the goal line, ran it all the way back.
And normal coaching says you let that one go. Anytime you're inside the 10-yard line, you let it hit and hopefully bounce into the end zone. But as you mentioned, he took a risk, and boy, did it pay off in a big way. I wonder if they let up a little bit going downfield, thinking that there was no way he was going to return that one.
So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
Luck now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
Well, we just saw the recipe for success right there. Big body, strong, agile, playing with great leverage in hands. Not really able to be blocked on that play. Close things down inside.
It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. Back to throw, Luck. And an alley to run. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This one fielded at the 5. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they just had that pick 6. I guess the only positive maybe of them returning that for a touchdown. This offense right back out onto the field to try to make up for it.
I like that because now it doesn't give them a chance to go to the bench and really settle. You know, to sit there and kind of seethe over the idea that they turned the ball over previously. Right back out there. It's almost like hopping right back on the bike after falling over. See if they can get the ball moving again.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do it here. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that'll bring up a 3rd and 11 situation. Out of the gun, Luck. And that is incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now here's Rigoberto Sanchez. He's been terrific so far. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. This is taken at about the 14. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's had a touchdown for every quarter so far. 3 here in the 3rd and probably hoping he's not done yet.
And this is a situation where it's okay to be greedy. When you've already scored 3 times, you want 4, you want more than that. And guess what? That only helps your team.
Yeah, so far 3, now in search of 4. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Martin. And bulldozing through multiple tackles. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. Ball now to throw on 2nd down. Got his man. It's Williams. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the 3rd quarter of action. Back now in Indianapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. First down. Here's the run with Martin. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
And they'll get him to the ground. He has another 1st down at the Colts 21. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Rush coming, and he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And, oh, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. Something we haven't really seen much of from him, an incomplete pass.
Yeah, last week he finished at 70%. This week he's up over 80%. I don't know how you slow him down. Pass rush is usually the best way because a quarterback on his back usually can't complete a pass.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
So possession goes over here on the punt. Now let's discuss Antonio Brown as he heads back out there now. What a game for him, Charles. 4 touchdowns. Heck, for a lot of guys, that's a good season number.
You're exactly right. And let's face it, we have to stand up and applaud this one, even though we're supposed to be neutral, because this doesn't just happen by accident. This isn't 4 times where the defense just falls down or breaks coverage. He's worked awfully hard, changing routes, changing areas, changing angles, and getting open for touchdowns.
We knew he'd be part of the game plan in a big way, and it has been in a very big way. They run it again with Martin. And a nice stiff arm. It opens room to run. The 30, 10, and he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Doug Martin with his 2nd touchdown of the game and 5th on the year as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. This will be fielded at the 6. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take.
Going for Hilton, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Clemson, Trayvon Mullen. And the Raiders are in for 6. Touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them to the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
Carlson now to add the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This is taken at the 3. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Here's Luck. And that is incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And no return here. This one's going inside the 15 to the 12-yard line. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. All right, how has he done it? 4 touchdowns in this contest. He's been around the end zone in particular, pretty much uncoverable.
And you know that I typically take things from a defensive perspective. I'm not
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Past the 20. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Foster Moreau with his first career NFL touchdown as his guys continue to pour it on. He has really settled in throwing the football, and that touchdown here in the 4th quarter gives him a pretty comfortable cushion.
He may be a rookie, but he's playing like 4th quarter, and the QBing is easy. How about this guy? Youngster, not worried about anything, just cutting it loose and having fun.
Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance. What an effort. It results in the touchdown. This one taken from the 7. Now a hit and a loose football. And a huge return as he'll take this one all the way down inside the 30-yard line. So a teammate picking him up there, that was nearly disaster.
And the way that you coach these things, you want to make sure you have eyes towards the return guy because you want to make sure that the catch is secured. A lot of teams do that. They have at least one guy. Okay, you're responsible for making sure he secures the catch. He's not always the one that makes the recovery, but he can always sound out the alarm. Hey, ball's on the ground. We've got to get it back.
Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders. Martin with the potential to really help this Raider running game as they come up here 1st and 10. Looking to throw. Hall got him in. It's Brown. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch. Good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. Hall on 3rd and 2. Touchdown, Raiders. He continues to show at this level that he can not only pass for touchdowns, he can run for touchdowns.
Not the first time we've seen this, because this young guy, he really makes it happen. So what that tells me is the book on him has to change. You got to now plan for those legs as well as him throwing the football.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. A drive there of just 4 plays. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This one taken from the 7. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's going to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements. And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
To throw it is Hall on 1st and 10. Buying time to it, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. The linebacker, Darius Leonard, applied the heat. Now, following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Here we go on 2nd and 12. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, this is a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers. Flush to his right. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And the Colts pick it up. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. He tried to buy some time to the right. So, Charles, when a guy gets out of the pocket, what's the focus of the quarterback?
Most of them keep their eyes downfield. They want to try and make a play throwing the ball. Some of them, they want to tuck it and go. But when they scramble in this game,
under pressure, and down he goes. Luck is sacked. Maurice Hurst, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on 2nd down. They'll run it here with Wilkins. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, here's Lott. That'll be caught by Rodgers. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down.
That was impressive to me because while it was a pass play, they still rallied to the football like they were filling running lanes, and they were able to put the receiver on the ground.
And that'll be off the crossbar and out. It's short. He couldn't get it there. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And you just kind of get the sense that this team's been snake-bitten a little bit here. They just have not had anything go their way.
It's like they collectively walked under a ladder on their way into the stadium. What else could go wrong?
Protein spill.
Now Hall on 1st down. And an alley to run. run. He's got the first down and more past midfield. And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. We've seen the pressure get to him several times in this game. There, though, we see him escape it.
And we've seen this rookie video before as well. That type of pressure, oftentimes, what do you resort to? Your legs, try and escape. What you hope is that this doesn't become habit for him, that he learns how to handle the pressure, still keep his eyes downfield, and make some throws. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Here's Hall, looking to throw on second down. He's going to take off with it. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 24-yard line. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw. Hall eluding the pressure right. Now he'll pull it down.
Get him, boy! Get him, boy!
So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Here's a 2nd and 7. Flushed out right. His throw incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. 3rd down, and they're going to try the jet sweep. And he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Not your conventional play call, but that's okay. You probe the defense a little bit with some of everything in your playbook. That way they have to account for everything as the game moves on.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down. Hall now throwing on 4th down. Escaping the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Darius Leonard. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
No gain there on the completion, 2nd and 10.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. And they'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down. The last catch nearly got him a first, but it did not, and they'll try to convert on 3rd and inches. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And he's got the first down before being taken down at the 46. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. Luck going to bring him up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Raiders, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Colts, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to KC to take on the Chiefs. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire...
Okay, that was that.
Yeah. this magic. One up and up this magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing. Now I hit the scene, they like lights, camera, action. Living in a dream, now my music, they be blasting. Step out, I'm a star, always in the latest fashion. Had to set the bar, try to catch me lacking. Bank account for my son, he won't have to struggle. You can see it in my eyes, all I do is hustle. They tried to knock me off my feet, I'm ready to rumble. Felt like I ain't ate in weeks, working off the muscle. Oh yeah, oh my, we ride for my brothers, no lie. All you can die, never wrong, they right. I ain't changing my side, yeah, we in it for life. And up it's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laugh. Hey, how could you lie to my face? People claim that they be loyal, they be taking up space. See my broski lose his heart when he was fighting that case. Took so many yells, I'm not going back to those days. I'ma treat you how you treat me, do you like how it tastes? Shawty, you can't treat you like my ace. I got way too many problems to be worried, I'm straight. Me and Craig had to watch for the Jakes. On the road, this crazy, I get 80 a show. Say my money, stack it up, it look like I'm foreign cars, driving fast, I never done this before. Get drown out my problems, let me When up it's magic. With the gang, we ball out, it can get tragic. All we got, we gon' let you have it. Stuck in my ways, think I need to change my habits. What would you do if you were me and didn't have it? Look in the mirror, now I'm feeling like a savage. Tell my son I love him, for him I'ma make it happen. Now my dream's reality, not going back to. You say that you proud of me, I turn my back, you laughing.
I'ma shine out, working hard, yeah I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. And I gotta win no matter what, like fourth down, Hail Mary, no punch. Like every time I touch down, I gotta stunt. Randy Moss, yeah my numbers going up. All these trophies, what do I need any more for? Check the stats up, you can check the scoreboard. Check the stats, Jay Critch, I'm the QB. Ran it up and then I went and got a new freeze. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. If you ain't a winner, then don't come round. On my way to another city, it's a touchdown. Underlay, yeah I gotta get it in a rush now. Let them hate, try to knock me down but we got up now. You say that you ballin', keep it real though. Hey, why I never saw you in the field though? Hey, I make it look easy, it's a field goal. I've been grinding for a minute and I'm still going. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. I'm a star, in the clutch, I'ma shine out. Working hard, yeah I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss but I stay strong. Super Bowl rings, I just wanna play off. Gotta go hard, I can never play soft. Giant in New York, I run it back like Saquon. How fit to be the boss, let me find out. My team ballin', you look like you need a timeout. shine now. Working hard, yeah, I'm back on my grind now. Game on, took a loss, but I stay strong.